I'm not ready to make nice. I'm not ready to back down. Cause I'm mad as hell and I don't have time to go round and round and round. Good morning and welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. It's Tuesday and I got my guy Rusty with me. How are you, brother? Are you mad as hell like me?
I am. I laid in bed last night for a long time thinking about that game, a lot longer than I should have, because I had a wonderful date night with Maggie last night on top of this horrendous basketball game that we had to watch. But I laid there and I got some thoughts. So I'm glad that to be here with you on a Tuesday for sure.
Me too. I mean, very rarely do I like to just jump in here. We'll give a little bit of a rundown the night before, and then we jump in here. I like it to be free flowing. Last night, you and I both were like, "What the hell is going on?" We were just for those of you who did not watch the game. The Grizzlies lost in, I believe the correct word is embarrassing, brutal, unacceptable fashion to the Chicago Bulls, 126-123.
Yep.
The game was lost in the final 6 minutes. Or when did Chicago finally take the lead? The last 6 minutes?
Yeah, last 6 minutes of the game. The third quarter, we were all kind of like, hey, this is one of our better third quarters. But what happened was we had a 14-point lead at halftime. It ballooned to 20 points. And then ultimately we lost by 3 because of several factors. Marcus's fat ass going 0 for 11 does not help anything.
No.
But it's the same song and dance that we've been seeing for the last 6 seasons from our head ball coach.
Yes. I'm actually a little... Chin Guy's he is playing a 12-man rotation when everybody's healthy. And no one is giving him the correct amount of criticism, it seems, other than Grizzlies. I don't know why he's not getting criticism up elsewhere for that. I was literally just listening to a podcast where Steve Kerr was getting his feet ran through the coals for playing 12 guys. I don't know. I texted you last night. In no universe. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Tell me which one of these things stand out. I'll give you some minutes breakdown. Santi Aldama, 35 minutes. Desmond Bane, 31 minutes. Marcus Smart, 25 minutes. Jaren Jackson Jr., 24 minutes. Zach Edey, 14 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jake LaRavia, 31 minutes. The rest of these make sense. The rest of them don't bother me. Jake LaRavia should never be playing that many minutes a game. He should never be playing more minutes than Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. ever. Unless they're hurt.
Right. And the worst part about that, look at the plus minus. What is Jaren's plus minus? Jaren was plus 15. When he's on the court, we're 15 points better, and he left him on the sideline yet again for another second half run. We are actually the 30th ranked team in second half net ratings in the NBA at a negative 31.1. So we're going to score by 31 points in the second half. Small sample size, I get it. And guys, it's October basketball. I understand. It is what it is.
Yes.
But listen, the Boston Celtics had a very winnable game last night against the Milwaukee Bucks that they won. Luke, for the Bucks, Giannis played 39 minutes. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum, 36 minutes. Al Horford, 27 minutes. Drew Holiday, 33 minutes. Derek White, 34 minutes. Jaylen Brown, 38 minutes. So their starters and their stars are playing a lot. Lakers Suns, late last night. Lakers, Anthony Davis, 36 minutes, and he's made of paper mache.
Yeah.
Rui Hachimura, 31 minutes. LeBron James is 40 years old, played 36 minutes last night.
Austin,
thank you. Austin Reeves, 38 minutes. Kevin Durant, 38 minutes. Tyus Jones, 31. Bradley Beal, 35. Devin Booker, 39. You want to be a championship team, you play your best players. And I understand we're tinkering with rosters and all this kind of crap, but what bugs me is watching Taylor Jenkins nerd out over his little analytics sheet while the actual basketball game being played in front of him is playing out differently than his dumbass sheet is telling him. He's so focused on analytics and numbers and minutes restrictions and these guys that. If Jaren can't play more than 24 minutes, we are soft and need to have a conversation about our strength and conditioning, because we've got a 40-year-old man playing 36 minutes last night, and Jaren can't play more than 24. I don't need him to play 40 minutes right now. He's nursing a hamstring. I get that. But if he'd have played 30 last night, we win that freaking basketball game.
No doubt. And if we win the basketball game, I doubt we hear a word about minutes restriction. That's another thing that really bothers me. It's I just don't know if that's an accurate. I think that's an excuse.
It's another way that they're making excuses for TJ. I like Taylor Jenkins. I stand for Taylor Jenkins. Yes, I am also critical of Taylor Jenkins because two things can be true. He's a good analytical basketball coach, and he has the same feel for a basketball game as a sweet potato. Like, you can watch the moment gets too big for him very quickly, and he doesn't know how to make adjustments based on the game in front of him. If it's not following his analytics sheet in front of him, he's completely clueless and has no idea how to make adjustments or adapt or do anything. And it's yes, we're 4 games in, but we should be 4-0.
No doubt.
And this is year 6 for Taylor Jenkins, and we're doing the same thing that we were doing in year 1. If he can't figure out rotations and lineups and how to make adjustments now, we're going to lose out on our championship window. Like, Taylor Jenkins, to me, more than any talent on this team, is what's standing between us and an NBA title.
After last night, it's really hard to argue against that because he – and I was seeing to clarify, no one is mad. Because, like, I think people are – I was reading online, people were defending Jake. No one's pissed at Jake for playing well. Like, Jake had a fine stat line when he was out there, but he should never have been out there in the first place. That's not the issue. Isn't we're ganging up on Jake. We're ganging up on him being in the position to even be out there.
For 31 minutes.
That, you know, like, the only starter he may have should have been playing more minutes than is Marcus, because Marcus was –
doing his best Dylan Brooks last night and just kept shooting when he couldn't make it. Do you know who the number 1 player in the NBA right now is in plus minus? Just take a stab at who the number 1 player out of all basketball players in the NBA who has the best plus minus in the NBA.
Oh God, is it Jaren? It's not Jaren.
It's Jaren Jackson.
Jaren,
Jr.
yeah.
He is plus 20.5, plus 20.5 points. He is ranked 167th in minutes. I get it. He's coming back from a hamstring issue. He doesn't need to be top 5 in minutes right now. But again, if Jaren plays 28, 30 minutes last night, we win that game. And Wayno in the comments, Iron Giants fired up this morning. Absolutely. I got steam coming out my gears this morning because, like, yes, it's October. Yes, it's the 5th game of the year. It's the 4th game of the year. But we're seeing the same old song and dance that we always see out of TJ. And we all talked about it. He needs to take a step. He needs to take a leap. And I'll tell you, you know it's bad when Drew Gann is saying things about Taylor Jenkins that's not, he's the second coming of the Messiah. I texted him last night and was just like, hey, man, like, I screenshotted and I highlighted Jaren and I highlighted Jake Smith and said, your boy is losing it on the sideline. And he sent back circling Jaren's plus 15 and says, makes it look much worse. And I said, it wasn't TJ's best night. And Andrew Gann said, he and the medical staff are costing us wins for minutes restrictions. It's ridiculous. And I was like,
oh my Lord.
It's bad.
when Drew,
it's bad.
He defends like tirelessly. He will defend them. And yes. That I did not know he was already turning.
That's bad. TJ, if you're losing Drew, read the room, brother.
For real, man. And the thing last night, you want to talk about, last night was an excellent example of in real time watching Taylor Jenkins lose the entire feel for the game. Like you said, he had his head buried in his sheet, and we were watching it in real time because Desmond Bane should have been in there with 6 minutes left to go. Even if Jaren Jackson Jr. is on a minutes restriction, there's no reason for Des to not come in until 2 minutes left. It's like when he was playing the way that he was playing, and like, you know, it's last season it was, we didn't have someone to close these games out because we didn't have Ja. Dez and Jaren learned how to close games last season, and both
Dez is a killer.
Dez is a killer. Jaren was a mismatch. Like he was the most dominant guy on the court when he was playing last night. Like
and then you got Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine played 35 minutes and whipped our ass for 35 minutes. Like finished 12 for 22, 5 for 12 from 3. Now the Bulls shot 47%, hit 25 threes. Like Taylor can't help that, but it just feels like every team has their best three-point shooting night against Memphis. There's a trend here. It's not like this is a one-off. Everybody that we play shoots freaking 45% or better from 3. But we, like you said, we needed a run stopper. Ja is a run stopper. Dez is a run stopper. You put Jaren in, he scores 3 straight baskets. Like he just get boom, 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 right? Just 3 straight buckets. Dez could not miss last night. No. And on what planet is your best shooter sitting until 2 minutes left in a game that is spiraling out of control in front of you? It's like he's so focused on analytics. He literally forgets He has one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA sitting beside him. And it's like, oh crap, I got to put Dez in. And he puts him in with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, like watching when everyone in the room is able to see that Desmond Bane needs to go out there to stop the run that the Bulls, like it's I kept looking at the time and I was like, he's still not out there. Why is he 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes? It's just, it was watching it slip away like that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it's just mind-numbingly frustrating that we're still doing this.
Is this true? Did he play the last?
No, there's no way. He did not come in until late. There's no way. Because I remember when he came in with because I told Maggie, now we finally put Dez back in. He might have played from the 8th to the 6th, but I know it was about 2.5 minutes left in the game when Dez finally checked back in. He had that big timeout when Chicago took a lead. And I remember when Dez and Jaren came back in the game. But at that point, Chicago had already come back from 20, had been on a 30-something point run, it felt like, and there was nothing we could do. But I know Dez checked in with about 2:35 to go.
Yeah. This is not helping us either because every three, I mean, Kyla was watching the game with me last night, and even she was like, why are they letting them shoot these? It's just that extra guy is and this was something we had to watch a lot last year, was going to and we had some guys that were real bad at it last year that would just go over to help their man and leave a guy wide open. If we're going to continue, this is another, we're bringing up, this is all coaching. This is all coaching that we're bringing up, you got to pull him. And like I said, playing Jake over Marcus, that was the only starter, I guess I should say, where I was like, that makes sense, play him over that. But it's just watching in real time this game slip away was really, really difficult to watch.
I just don't. DG probably went back and looked at the film. I don't remember Desmond coming in that early. I don't remember him being out there because I remember I said to Maggie at one point, why is there a lineup without Dez or Jaren in the fourth quarter? But maybe I'm DG found it, so I'm probably wrong there. But I don't remember him being out there. A, B, I don't understand these minutes in these rotations still. I don't understand it. You've got Zach Edey playing decently well, and then he doesn't play any in the second half. I
thought he got hurt. I
did too. He finished with 14 minutes. The 3-point experiment was fun, but he needs to stop shooting threes. That's not what you're here for, big fella. And then last night was one of the first times, I like the new offense. All the motion, all the movement is great. But how many times did Pip or Santi or Marcus get underneath the rim and then look for that extra pass out or that kick out, and it was a turnover? If you're at the rim, finish. You know what I'm saying? I understand you're trying to look for that three. They're shooting a ton of threes. We're trying to find that shooter. But, dude, I can probably count 4 or 5 times where we got to the rim and then try to kick out pass, and it was either resulting in a turnover or a bad pass or something, and it just and then we lost the possession and never finished or scored. And it's Pip, you're literally 2 feet from the goal. Get a foul. Try and go up. Get a foul, something.
Yes, there was it's early, but the whole felt like a sloppily coached game yesterday. That kind of stuff. Now, I don't want to just pile up on this because we won the rebound battle, and I think a lot of that is having Santi, start the three. When Santi plays the three, we get, we out rebounded them 60 to 50, 18 offensive boards. Santi,
the rebounding was better.
The rebound was better, but and DG got me the lineups. Yeah, cool. Perfect. Let's see. So Dez came in. Yep, Dez came in 40 minutes and never went out. That's wild.
Oh, dang. That is wild.
I hate it.
I stand corrected then. I thought for sure he didn't come in so late because Dez was that run killer for us last night, but apparently he wasn't in the fourth quarter. I don't know.
But Jake LaRavia played from the 36-minute mark to the 44-minute mark.
Jeez.
And
he had a good Jake game last night. 17 points and 7-11. That's a good Jake game. But Jake's a net negative on defense. He is. There's no defense being played when he's out there. There's none. He's just, his feet are made of concrete. He can't get in position. He's a guy that's getting exposed left and right on defense. And it just wasn't pretty.
No.
From any standpoint from that. But like you said, positives are Santi Aldama was made for this offense. Rebound super well. You know, Pitt played well last night again. We had another double-double. We had 14 points and 10 assists. He only had 1 turnover. Scottie Pippen Jr. was another positive last night, so we saw some good growth there in his 31 minutes. I do wish Jay would have got a few more shot opportunities to shoot and a few more chances, finishing 2 for 3 from 3. Again, another strong showing. Luke Kennard, man, I'm sorry, brother, but your minutes are like getting smaller and smaller and smaller with some of these bench guys.
Which good transition, because let's not dwell on this game anymore, because we're just going to get mad. Another person whose minutes I see they've been getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I don't see that going away anytime soon, because Jay Huff just signed a 4-year deal. Mm-hmm. The person that I see that's having the most effect on is Brandon Clark, whose minutes have shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk, and it seems in each game, and it just seems like the writing might be on the wall for him with this Jay Huff signing, because it's a 4-year deal. Mm-hmm. And that's your backup center right there. You don't sign a guy to a team-friendly 4-year deal who can shoot like that from 3 and who fits this offense like he does, who without the intent to be him being your backup big, right?
First and foremost, congratulations, Jay Huff. Yeah. That is a well-earned contract. Like that dude, he played and he earned it. Like that is a product of hard work, being slept on, proving that the doubters wrong, and earning a spot on this roster. Jay Huff will be playing significant minutes for us for the rest of the season.
Yep.
BC got hurt again last night. Yeah, White Diamond, man. All about Hufflepuff, whatever you want to call him, man. Huff is tough. Pete, shout out Pete Pranica. Anytime he gets a block, it is now called a Huff stuff, and I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Did BC get hurt on that fall?
On that fall. He came down awkwardly, and he went to the locker room shortly thereafter and he didn't play anymore after that. I love Brandon Clark. I will always stand for Brandon Clark. He's been one of my favorite Grizzlies since he joined the team, and just like he's so good. And until he's now not with that Achilles. And so, you know, some group chats were chatting yesterday, and I just feel like BC is going to be a piece of a trade, you know, and we have positioned ourselves super well with a lot of dangling contracts and expiring deals between Luke and Marcus and a lot of these guys that we can move. GD $6 million. Like there's a lot of ways that we can move that. 4 guys that would help us, and having Jay Huff, Scottie Pippen Jr., Gigi Jackson, and Vince Williams all signed for a total of $9 million for the next 3 seasons.
It's under the ML.
I mean, for 4 players and 4 good players, like guys who are contributing. Pip had a double-double last night. Jay Huff can obviously shoot. We know what Vince and Gigi are when they come back healthy, which I'm nervous about Vince and what the reports are coming out about him. But like the fact that we have those 4 guys for $9 million and Jaws, you know, getting paid well. Dez is on a good contract. We're about to have to restructure Jaren's deal. That still leaves us wiggle room and ability to move off of Marcus and Luke's big contracts and bring back a Cam Johnson or somebody that may be interested on the move, you know, an OG or a Josh Hart from New York. If Giannis keeps calling out the Bucks in that organization, I'd call Milwaukee and be like, "What's up, boys?"
And if they keep losing,
I mean,
okay, so do you think if you had to pick one guy that gets moved at the deadline, who do you think it is?
If I like just one, I had to pick just one, is Marcus.
You think it's Marcus? I mean, Marcus, I mean, he's got the $20 million, right? Is that how much his contract is?
Almost,
It's the biggest. You can really put a lot of trade packages together with that. And as it's been really interesting because there have been some veteran adult big boy in the room decisions that Marcus has been making. He's been getting Edie involved. He's been up until last night was everything that's tough to watch about a Marcus Smart experience, you know?
It felt so much like Dylan Brooksian because like his shot clearly wasn't working last night, but he kept shooting. There was that one possession where he took like 2 or 3 corner threes where he'd get a rebound and kick out to him. And I'm like, no, Marcus. No, Marcus. And Maggie's dogs are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, no, Marcus, no. Stop it. He just kept shooting and kept shooting, finished 0 for 11 and just looked out of shape. It didn't look very good at all on either end. Like he played fine against Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's going to get his. He played fine against him defensively, but just like I saw somebody said last night, it was like Tony Allen, like Marcus Smart was like Tony Allen last night. Tony Allen said, just F it, I'm going to keep shooting.
Man, excuse me, it was because and the ball kept finding him a couple times too, which I never
did. Yeah.
I never liked that because that's, man, I didn't want to circle. That goes back to Taylor Jenkins. You got to tell these boys to not get it, The ball does not need to find him when he is 1
No.
for 11 or 0 for 11. That's just
not when we've got Santi, who was pretty hot last night. You've got Dez, who was having a killer game last night. You've got Jay Huff, who can shoot. Jalen Wells, who needs to get touches. Like, you've got plenty of mouths to feed, not named Marcus Smart. And Marcus can be what Tony was and just be a defensive stalwart and an offensive piece that moves the ball around. Like, ball doesn't need to stop with Marcus Smart right now because he hadn't been shooting well all year.
No.
Last night was just a culmination of all of that. When you've got other guys who have proven that they can shoot, that's what you need to go after. But yeah, I think Marcus gets moved at the deadline. We're notorious for making deals with the same teams, and we tend to kind of work back and forth. We work really well with Brooklyn. That's why I brought up Cam Johnson earlier. Mm-hmm. But like, if you could package a deal with like Marcus and BC and go after, I saw this yesterday, Cam, Dorian Finney-Smith,
DFS.
Dennis Schroeder, like somebody like that, like kind of get a deal with some of those cats. Like, all of a sudden, we're a much better basketball team. Mm-hmm. You've come off some money, and we're much more competitive with a scorer in Cam Johnson. And man, it'd be nice to have a guy like Dennis Schroeder on our team, who normally is a Grizz killer, to actually help us. Like, I'm so sick of him. Like, every time we play him, like, he cooks us. And so you can go after some of these guys, like with Marcus's deal. I mean, crap, if you pair Marcus and Luke, there ain't nothing you can't do.
30 million? That get you 30 over 30 million?
Nothing you can't do.
No, that's the kind of 2-for-1 deal that you go out there and make if you can get somebody.
And clearly Brooklyn is full on like rebuild mode. And so there's opportunity there to make a deal with them. We play them this week, Wednesday, our next game. We play them tomorrow night in Memphis. Maybe, while they're in town, Kleiman takes them to flight or somewhere. I'm like, hey, let's have a nice dinner. Let's talk about how we can make this work. Y'all need a vet leader and Marcus Smart. We got your man. Marcus would be perfect. He can come, bring up Zaire and these young guys. Just finish Cam Johnson.
Man, I forgot we played Brooklyn on Wednesday. There's going to be he's got one day. There's one day, but there's going to be a lot of discourse happening today and leading up till the game tomorrow, because you drop that game Wednesday, then there's some serious conversations that need to start.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't go 2-0 the rest of the week. We should beat the crap out of Brooklyn. John needs to play for like 35, 38 minutes and just absolutely have a Ja Morant game. Yep. And the same thing on Halloween, playing the Bucks. Like, there's no reason that we should lose either one of those games. The Bucks are an absolute dumpster fire right now. We shouldn't be losing either one of these games. And if we do, it's time to have a very serious conversation. Anthony Sane said on Twitter, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, right before the season started, he said, we're going to know if Taylor Jenkins is the guy for this team in November or December. We're going to know by the end of October. Like, if we don't see some significant growth by the end of this week, early November, it's going to be like the shout out to the great song, The Sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Like, we're going to be going down in a November gale if we don't make some changes real quick.
Man, yeah, we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to take a quick break because we're a fun show. I'm sorry you caught us on a frustrated day. We normally have fun here. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to tube a little bit. We're going to tube, and we'll explain what that is right after this break.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got him in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little better.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like, because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter, I did peep that. It was like, I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something, like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's going to come a stretch of time where they're going to be stagnant. And at that time, that's when I expect them, okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're getting a big kick out of that one. I think you've been waiting all day for that. You get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind, and you can catch our show. You can catch Night Court Podcast. You can catch Anthony Sane Show. You can catch 2 Bucks Sports Show. You can catch No Bluffin', Grizz 901 Live. All of that. All of it is at bluffcitymedia.co. Go check it out. Lots of stuff, lots of content. It's awesome. You really like stuff for everybody. If you don't like us, I don't know why you wouldn't like us, but there's so much stuff. Back to our show. Around here on Tuesdays, we tube. What does that mean? If you're joining us for the first time, we talk about what we're watching on TV because everybody's got a TV. I bet if you were to look around in your house right now, you're watching this on a computer or on a phone. I bet there's a TV somewhere around, probably. What are you watching? We like, and it's not always sports. You know, there's a bunch of stuff out there other than sports on TV. So we're going to tube. We're going to talk about it. I'll go first. I'm actually not watching. I took a break from my scary movie because I had some friends in town over the weekend and they recommended something to me. I am 3 episodes into The Penguin.
Oh, I told you about that, dude. It's so good.
Dude, you guys are, I've had multiple people tell you guys are right. I don't know why I wasn't listening to you guys. Between you and between my buddy Zach, like, it is awesome. I call him, I don't know how that's Colin Farrell. It's insane. Yeah. There'll be times where I'm like, I think I see it, and then he'll blow somebody's brains out. And I'm like, no, I don't see it anymore. Don't see it.
It's such a good attitude. Like, that's how the Penguin should be. Like, I don't know. It's just really well done.
Solid.
Really well done.
I didn't realize I needed a good gangster thing, and then not really superhero-y, but it's awesome.
Like, Batman's kind of like a background character. Barely it's great. And like, awesome. Don't get Gotham. That was one of the biggest problems with Gotham. Like, Gotham got so weird because everybody was like clamoring, like, we need more Batman. So they started doing some weird things towards the end, which was a great show. But like, hopefully they'll just continue to focus on the Penguin here.
I hope they'd keep it low level, street level, and just keep it like that. I don't need it to get blown over out of proportion. I'm happy with how it is right now.
So normally I give you what to watch and what not to watch. That's what I've been doing lately. Luke, I was very negative in the first section of the show. I owe you an apology and our viewers an apology. I was a spicy Iron Giant, as Wayno said earlier. So I'm going to give you 2 things to watch. I'm going to end on a positive note.
Yes.
The first thing we watched, a little throwback, watch The Grudge. Like, that's such a good, creepy, like, just, it's a little cheesy because it's 2004, I think is when it came out. Like, so like there's a little bit of that. But it's good, man. It's scary. Creepy, it's scary, it's a little unsettling watching that girl like manifest up in the security camera and like come down the hallway. Like, it's creepy, it's unsettling. SMG is great in that movie. It's a very good scary movie.
I haven't thought about that movie in a long time, and it made me feel I'm like, oh God.
It's just unsettling. Like after watching it, you're just kind of like looking over your shoulders, like you hear a sound. It's like, is that the girl? Like, what is that?
Oh, is she in here? She's in here.
Yeah. And then I had never watched. I remember when it came out, and I wanted to watch it way back in 2020, and it's just like, obviously 2020 was 2020. Forgot about it. Never watched it. Whatever. Hubie Halloween with Adam Sandler is actually a really funny movie. Like, I do too, man. I appreciate Adam Sandler's movies and how he always has like all of his bros and best friends in the movies. It's the same cast for every single movie. And Hubie Halloween was actually really freaking good. Like, it's funny. It's like there's some elements for the kids. Like, it's probably like if you got a 10 to 13-year-old and older, it's good for that. There's some immature, humor or whatever. But like, Hubie Halloween is a funny, scary, feel good. There's a life lesson in there. Like, I am here for Hubie Halloween. If you hadn't watched it, worth watching for a funny Halloween movie.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man. Adam Sandler, I love that he unapologetically is like, I'm just making movies with my guys, and they're gonna be fun, and I don't care what you think. I think that is awesome. Oh, dude, I've got a 13-year-old. We're gonna check that out because
I've
got immature humor too. I'm gonna watch it.
It's funny, man. It's good, and it's like it's a break from like all the scary heaviness, and like, but it's a good, fun, lighthearted Halloween movie. I appreciate Adam Sandler's humor, so I laughed out loud a lot through that movie. Check it out, Hubie Halloween.
So we got Hubie Halloween, we got Penguin, we got The Grudge, and I want to show Wayno, shout out Snowpiercer. This movie's great too. We got 4 recommendations for you. Halloween themed, Gotham themed, snow themed. Check them all out, guys. Check them out. We got good stuff.
For a palate cleanser.
Yeah, for a palate cleanser. Watch all of this after that brutal Grizzlies game, which we're not going to talk about because we're going to end the show there. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. We will be back tomorrow previewing the Brooklyn game. We will be in better spirits, I promise. Knock on wood. I promise. Don't dwell on the loss today, guys. It's a long season. We're gonna be fine. Have a good day today, though. If I can leave you with anything today, remember 2 things, these 2 little things we tell you every day. Remember to be a little weird and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.